Welcome to the Athel Podcast. I'm your host, Danielle McPherson.
And I'm your host, Lily Carr.
Our episodes are brought to you by Rose Hill Library, and today's guest is Mr. Browning. Before we have him join us, make sure you follow Rocket Productions on Instagram and Facebook. If you have missed any episodes, you can find the Rocket Productions Network anywhere you listen to podcasts. So how are you, buddy?
Hey, buddy. How's it going?
It's going good. How's your day been?
This week's a lot better than last week.
Yeah.
We're here to talk
Okay,
about
I know.
last week.
I'm leading you into it.
Thank you.
It's a tease. It's what we're doing
You're
here.
so good at this.
I know.
You're such a pro.
I understand this.
Okay, so before we start off, what do you do, for Stuco? What are you?
We're co-sponsors now.
Okay.
Last winter, Mrs. Evans, which I realized firsthand last week, just how much work goes into
Yeah.
being a Stuco sponsor. So she wanted to have a second sponsor, and then I was interested because I know a lot of you guys already, and I think it's a good way to meet new kids and be an influence for kids. So, yeah, that's a short story of a long thought, I guess.
Yeah.
But you don't, lead meetings or... Well, I mean, I guess
Jonah leads the meetings.
I know, but, I guess we host the meetings in your room, but do you really have to do stuff for meetings?
Yeah, I mean, there's all sorts of emails. You don't know what goes on, Dan. You
don't.
will next year when you're on the high on the executive list. Yeah, you will. I'll talk to you that later.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot that goes into it. I think especially the two homecoming weeks are just so much is going on.
Because every day is jam-packed. It's a lot.
Yeah.
I was gone. I got home late Monday night. I got home late Wednesday night, and then obviously Friday night was very late. So
Yeah.
I was exhausted.
But
It was weird though. I go home after the dance, and I don't know if it's because just the whole day was just so much was going on, but I couldn't fall asleep.
really?
2 o'clock, I think is when I fell
Ew.
asleep. I know. And then of course you hear my children at 7:45 the next morning. And it's like, okay, I did a nice 5 hours of.
On a Saturday?
Oh, that's probably being
Your kids are
kind.
crazy.
They are nuts. But it was very tiring week. I don't know how Mrs. Evans did it by herself for so long. All joking aside, I don't know.
It's a lot.
I don't know how she could have navigated, especially community service day. It's just a ton of, trying to make sure kids are in the right spot. We have enough jobs for the juniors, jobs for the seniors.
Yeah.
The freshmen can get food and get out and get to Wichita. The dump day aspect of things. I don't know how she did it, but I'm glad to help her now because I was tired. I was doing half the job, so.
No, I agree.
What did you do to plan homecoming week?
Well, all the days have to be approved by our spirit days have to be approved by Mrs. Evans and myself. So that was something that was a big part of. And then I was in charge of specifically the seniors and the juniors and what jobs that we had for them, right? So whether that was going to the nursing home or wherever in town. I mean, Riley Funk was the one that chased them down, but I put stuff out on social media and to the email. I emailed staff members if you have any kind of jobs, let us know. But really, Josie Palmer for the juniors and Riley Funk led the meetings. Yeah. It's more like I kind of view it as if you are a CEO of a company, you delegate, everything's delegation, right? So Mrs. Evans and I oversee what you guys do, the students do. There's just so many branches of it, whether that's presidents or vice presidents or treasurers or whatever. So we don't really, I wouldn't say that we do a lot in terms of the planning aspect of things or this, and this. We let you guys decide those things, but we just oversee it to make sure there's no for summer throwback day that nobody wears a bikini to school or wears a Speedo to school. There's things like that we have to go through those kind of thought processes when ciphering through days and things like that.
Was it Nathan that was on the announcements and he was like, you guys can wear coconut bras, but make sure you have a shirt underneath.
Nathan Jones is my biggest responsibility, making sure what he says or doesn't say, very big job responsibility. Now you're still coughing. I thought we were moved past this.
No, I'm still sicky.
Soft. Sorry.
Stop.
Sorry.
This is a professional podcast.
I know. I have to interject my unique humor where I see fit.
But okay, well, kind of going into me being sick, I wasn't I was involved in a lot of stuff, but it was very hard to manage my week, and I know I was very stressed, let alone because I have a job too.
Sure. Yeah.
And I was just, how are you managing? Because don't you what do you do with the magazine? I don't know what
Okay.
you work.
Well, I'm the editor of Vibe magazine, and last week I have never felt that overwhelmed in a long time. There were some reasons why our magazine, which was supposed to be out in middle of September, was delayed. That's a topic for a different day. So I'm trying to deal with that. trying, then you have to come back to school, which, coming back and supervising Powder Puff and Ironman is not that big of a deal,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
still you have to come back. And I'm a natural introvert, right? So like the way you guys see me at school is not how I am otherwise. I'm very quiet. I'm very down to earth, reserved. I don't like to be around people a whole lot. So I have to I go home, I get an hour to maybe, talk to my wife or hang out with my kids, decompress a little bit, but I have to come back here and have to be on again.
Yeah.
It was a lot of work. I mean, I know it sounds crazy to say that, but it's just hard when your natural personality is not to be an outgoing person. So that's what made it hard coming back both nights and trying to be, quote unquote, be on for people. And it was a long week. And I really feel like once we got past community service day, then you go downhill, right? Then everything is, I guess the pep rally is a lot of work, but the community service day is what really was the big thing, and making sure people had enough jobs. And we had people cancel last minute. We had students say they don't want to be in this group, which next year I'm going to say tough luck, because I'm going to say you're in the group that you're assigned, because that's life. But those are a lot of things that I didn't know about, and that's something else I think that makes this more difficult. Next year I will know what homecoming week looks like,
what
right?
to expect.
Exactly. This year I feel like while Mrs. Evans and I are co-sponsors, because I didn't know a lot of the intricacies of the week, she still had to do a lot of things that next year she won't have to ask me to do this or tell me to do this. I will know to do it. And so it really will be a true co-sponsorship next year.
I don't know. It definitely helps to have your room open too, to do posters and have meetings and stuff. Because then I feel like she doesn't feel as overwhelmed having everybody in her space all the time.
Exactly. She can send people away from her. She can kind of have not that stress on her, and we have plenty of room in my various rooms to do things like that. I think just the biggest thing for Mrs. Evans was to have, I guess I'm going to speak for her, I don't know if this is true, is to have a support system, another adult. It's great that you guys support her, and it's great that like last year Dawson and Hayden supported her, but she didn't have another adult to bounce ideas off of, or say, hey, can you take care of this announcement, or can you take care of these kids? I can only imagine how much of a relief it was, even though she had to show me the ropes, so to speak. She still was able to delegate some responsibility towards me.
Exactly.
Are you going to change anything about homecoming next year?
I'm going to change some community service day stuff. I know that right now.
Really? Like what?
Well, if you get assigned to a group and there's somebody that you don't like or don't get along with, I'm going to say tough luck, because that's life. When you work at a job or you are assigned to a group in college for a class, you might not like a person, might not like a person, but guess what? That's part of life. You have to learn to deal with those kind of people. So that's my biggest thing. I'm not going to change the dances, the spirit days, that stuff. That's you guys. That's what you guys want to do. But the things that I can kind of control, like community service day, I'm going to. I had probably, estimating 24 people come and say, can I move groups? It just creates this okay, well, can I put this person here? Does this person like this person? It's stupid. It's petty. I'm not going to do it next year.
I mean, I don't know, because again, I wasn't here Tuesday or Wednesday, but I felt like the juniors did good about, our groups were so small that we were able to do friend groups. So were there a lot of juniors?
It was probably more the seniors,
It
if I can say that.
It was?
Yeah,
Okay.
it was.
Well, I'm just trying to make sure, because I know that for us, it was really hard, because we kept, also next year, I think we should definitely change permission slips and that kind of stuff to being in paper again instead of on the forms.
That was new.
On the form, I had to sort it out
It was so
if you had
bad.
your permission slip and your shirt size, and we had so many online forms and documents, and you had to find people's names.
I'm pretty sure that came, the permission slips, that's a new district-wide thing, not just for us in community service. I think so.
But can we switch it?
I don't know. That's probably a question above my pay grade.
Okay, because I just know that it was a lot, and even on Monday, Josie and me were still getting people in here, and being we need this, and so we were changing stuff before I left.
As a teacher, and this kind of ties into community service day. My job is to teach content to students, but I think my job also is to prepare you for what's next in life, giving you responsibility. That's why, for our podcast, I'm not micromanaging every single thing you guys do. I give you the responsibility and the trust to be able to do a show yourself. That's where I think with community service day, I'm going to trust that kids can go work in groups, even though they might not like a person in the group.
Yeah.
They might not get along with somebody. Now, if there's extreme circumstances, I understand that. But otherwise, go do your job. Listen to whoever's there supervising your group. If you don't like somebody, don't talk to that person. That's pretty easy, right?
Yeah.
And just go get the job done. Because the headache and the hassle was, okay, I have to switch people all the time from different groups. Who can't go where? I had an adult say they can't go to a certain place because they're allergic to something. It was just a
That's a lot.
absolute dumpster fire of a situation there.
But hey, we'll get it hammered out for next year.
Absolutely, and I don't want to complain about. I don't want to say I'm complaining about this
No,
because
exactly.
I really enjoy working with Mrs. Evans. She's so great to work with. She's been very, I guess, understanding of the things that I don't understand, you know. And I like working with you guys, and it's a good group of kids we have in Stuco. Yeah, that's something else. Like you never know what your dynamics gonna look like, but I think our Stuco group is great.
Yeah.
I really do think
I
it
do
is.
too.
Well, mostly great, anyways.
Oh.
Just you calling people out?
Well, she knows what I'm talking about. She's not gonna pay attention to what I'm saying, Miley.
Okay. Well, we'll be right back with Mr. Browning after this commercial.
Elite Compression has been offering their service for over 6 years. They fit all patients with lymphedema and chronic venous insufficiencies and make it easier for the patient to live their lives to the fullest. They are open on weekdays from 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. You can locate them at 10346 Stonegate Street in Wichita, Kansas. You can contact them today at 316-636-7900.
The Rose Hill Rec Center was created in 1973 and has been a staple in the Rose Hill community as a place to work out and enjoy fitness. They have a 24-hour fitness center where you can work out in numerous ways. Their office is open 7:30 to 5 on Mondays through Fridays and closed on the weekends. They also have numerous rec leagues ranging from basketball to baseball for all ages. You can contact the Rose Hill Rec Center at 316-776-9880.
We're back with Mr. Browning on the At the Hill podcast. Okay, so we're gonna skip all the way to Friday, and this entire block is about to be just about Friday.
Last Friday?
Yeah, homecoming.
Okay.
Friday. No, this Friday.
I don't know. You didn't
What?
specify
What? No. Okay.
about Friday. Okay, was that in July or when was it? I mean, come on.
Did you have a really eventful Friday evening in July?
Probably I did, but I don't remember.
Okay. So what all did you do for the pep assembly?
Me personally, I was in
Yeah.
charge of all the in the press box, making sure all the music was good for our dance team, our cheer team. I introduced all the homecoming candidates. Mrs. Mock couldn't be there, so I gave a short little blurb on the volleyball team. And then at the very end, we did, for those who didn't see it, we did, Kimberly Level saw us on Instagram or TikTok, one of the two, where at some high school, they had the kindergartners on one side of the field, and then they had the seniors on the other side, and they would walk towards
Yeah.
midfield, meet together. And so she had the idea of doing it for Rose Hill, which was really cool, I thought. And I played a song for there that was kind of, I saw some folks in the stands getting a little misty-eyed, you know. So yeah, it's pretty cool. So that was I was I guess the technical guy to all that. Was
Yeah.
Mrs. Evans was down on the ground making sure people were supposed to
I
go.
mean, and you've been doing that for a long time.
Yeah. How
It
did
is.
you start announcing for games and assemblies?
Well, when I first got here, Mr. Stone, that was his last year. He retired after my first year. He did all the announcing, and then he left, and Mr. Lana had nobody to do it, so he was desperate, and he asked me, and then now I've become
A little celebrity.
little celebrity, pretty big celebrity, I guess you can say.
Actually, a pretty big
Okay, sorry.
celebrity.
No, but that's how I got. I do football and basketball. I do soccer every once in a while, but that's just football and basketball. Makes you feel like you're still a part, even though you're not coaching in that sport.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you really do enjoy sports and stuff, so this is a way for you to be involved.
Yep. And I can see students that I have in class, watch them play and everything.
Yeah. I don't know, but it's definitely fun because I know in El Dorado, we had 2 back-to-back home games, or we had a home game or whatever. Then we went to El Dorado, and I was just standing on the sidelines, and the guy didn't announce timeouts at all, and it was so bland, and I was like, I kind of miss Browning.
Aw.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Just your announcing.
Not a lot.
No, let's not
No.
get crazy
Just like a
about
tiny
this.
bit,
You
yeah.
just
Just a
enough.
smidge.
I think it's important for announcers to engage the audience, but not to the point where they become the show, right? You want when we do a rocket first down, we want the fans to be excited about a first down, or make it, if they score a touchdown, make it your voice a different inflection so that it sounds like it's a big deal, things
Yeah.
like that. So,
But no, I just.
but don't take over the show.
Exactly. Yeah. But you do a
Yeah.
good job, honestly.
Thank you, I appreciate that. I enjoy doing it. I really do.
Okay.
Why are you getting awkward about
I'm
this?
sorry, I don't really.
I don't.
Like
Okay, I'm not gonna.
I don't like giving compliments.
Oh,
You're
okay.
not like giving compliments? Or
No.
why?
I mean, you do fine at it or whatever.
You're okay. I mean,
I might take that back,
I
actually.
wonder if Treat can do the next football game.
But you're
I'm
what?
sorry, I wonder if Treat does basketball when I'm not there in the wintertime. So I
Does
wonder if
he?
maybe, yeah,
Really?
yeah, or Glenny.
Honestly, I can't tell sometimes.
No, we're gonna notice and be really upset.
Yeah, I'm gonna be like, this isn't Browning.
This isn't Browning.
Well, like, I can't. Honestly, though, everybody's voice sounds so weird up in the box.
It's probably because the of the echoes of the stadium.
Can you
I
hear
guess.
yourself up there?
Yeah,
Okay, because, like, I
I
don't.
sound good. I know.
Okay.
All right.
Well, like, because when I was announcing with Sam for basketball homecoming last year, I heard myself, but, like, my mic also
The gym
wasn't
is
working.
terrible.
It's-
Oh,
the
yeah.
the
He also
acoustics
gave-
in that place are
He gave
awful.
me the weird mic, too. Like, he had the handheld one, the good one, and I, like, the weird, and he kept, like, turning it up and down because, like, you couldn't hear whatever I was saying.
Yeah, it's hard because that gym was built for wrestling. It wasn't built for basketball.
Really?
Yeah, that's why it's so spacious. And that's why it's hard to hear sometimes.
But why would they do that?
Probably because we host our wrestling tournament every
Oh
year.
yeah.
But, like, the wrestling tournaments are really fun.
Yeah, they are.
We don't announce for it. There's no announcements.
Treat
for
does.
wrestling. Oh, he is.
Mm,
Again, this tells you how much I pay attention.
So glad you pay attention to the sports at Rose Hill
Okay, well,
or the announcers or whatever.
I don't want to be mean, but like,
Just be mean.
Say
Just be
it.
mean.
Yeah, say it.
I don't want to be mean, but I'm going to say it anyways.
I'm not there for the announcers.
There it is. There it is.
Oh my
All right.
gosh.
And sometimes I'm not even there for the sports.
Well, you kind of are because you're cheering for the sports.
Well, now I am, but last year I wasn't. I was just.
Okay, that's fair.
I was there for the cheerleaders last year because I went to
Sure.
to be there for Natalie. Hey.
Okay.
Okay.
All
Next
right.
Topic.
Back on topic.
So, how was chaperoning the dance?
That was fine. Kids were good. You know,
Yeah.
Mr. Jackson and I talked about this at the dance. For the most part, kids at Rose Hill are good. They don't cause very many problems. There's a few things now and then, but there were no issues. The problem was that game took 3 hours to get over.
yeah.
Why did that
Yes.
take so long? I was still trying to figure it out. and
Well,
I was
because they
on the
called
field.
penalties every other play. I felt like the guy that in football games, the white hat is like the lead official, right?
Yeah.
And so my dad was a high school basketball coach for a long time. You didn't know that, did you? He was a high school basketball coach for a long time, and that white hat, he was a basketball official as well. He loves to be the center of attention.
That's what I heard was like.
And so that's why he called all those penalties. And I have never been to a high school football game that took 3 hours before.
Did you think that some of those penalties were like? Obviously, some of
We
the
could've-
calls were good, but like at the same
Yes.
time.
Let's keep going. Let's keep the
Let's
game
keep
going.
going.
Let's quit
Yeah,
stopping
let's
the
just-
clock. Let's just do this thing because, my gosh. So I felt kind of bad for the students that they missed out on some of the dance, but
Yeah.
we couldn't
But
control
also,
it.
it's Rose Hill homecoming. Everybody leaves by like 10:30 anyway.
Yeah, that's true. I guess by 11 o'clock, most people were gone, I would say.
Yeah.
But I thought the DJ did a good job. I thought she did
The
good.
DJ,
Yeah.
I know, I heard
engaging
that
you
they-
guys.
I heard that. Was it a girl?
Yeah, it was,
she-
yeah.
I heard that she was really good.
She was.
Yeah.
I think we'll have her back for the winter homecoming as well.
Can we not do same DJs for like snowball and that kind of stuff too, or because
Oh,
it's
that-
different clubs? it's-
Exactly.
Okay.
So you have to talk to Miss A about
I might
that.
have to talk to Miss A, like get her in touch with Riley, because I think Riley did something with a DJ.
She was looking. She got a nice little tip too at the end of the night.
Ooh.
What?
Taryn, you're not on the show. You can't ask questions from over there. I know Stuka just gave her a tip because she was so good.
Oh yeah.
okay.
Because sometimes you have DJs, from what I understand, that like don't engage with the students and don't like play
Yeah.
songs they want to hear and everything and they want to dance to. So
Yeah.
Yeah, we all started yelling "Fiend," and so she played it.
That's
This-
a good DJ.
this shows really how old I am. I would say I probably knew like 20% of the songs. That song
You
you're talking
only
about,
knew?
didn't know that one. No
You
clue.
didn't know
You
that
didn't know
one?
that one?
No
I feel like
idea.
everybody's
It's
been saying
new.
it.
And Mr. Welch and I were standing there and we're like, this shows that we are children of the late 90s and early 2000s because we have no idea what any of these songs are.
Well, were there a lot of people there at the dance?
I thought there's a lot of
do
people
you
there.
Think that there? Well, I guess I don't know
know.
if you would know this, but was there like more participation this year?
That's a great question. I don't know. Mr. Welch seemed to indicate that it's kind of normal.
Yeah.
I would say, what, 150 kids there or
There's
so?
usually more when it like comes to snowball, because it's like the dress-up one, so
Right.
everyone comes.
I wonder if winter homecoming is more there because it's you're still at school.
You're in the school,
Yeah.
yeah. Honestly,
You have to drive over, which isn't that big of a deal, but still.
I don't know, but like I just know that trying to engage people is our big thing, and like participation in every aspect of homecoming week.
And I think we had a lot for Community Service Day. I think we had more than we had in years past, which is good. So
Yeah, that is good.
Yeah.
that's the biggest thing that I told when Mrs. Evans asked me why I wanted to do this. Is everybody can complain about school spirit. Everybody can complain about Spirit days are lame, or whatever words that they've used to describe our homecoming week. But I want to change that. I'm not going to get everybody. I know out of the 500 and some kids here, I know not everybody's going to be able to participate in dances or participate in community service day. But if I can just do my part and reach a few more, then I'm doing my job as a student co-sponsor, I feel like.
I agree. Well, honestly, that was all we had for you today, Brownie.
Was that award-winning or?
That was amazing.
That was
I know.
pretty good. I think Kinsey and Taylor are so ready
I know.
to be done.
Do they
with
talk like
this?
this all the time when we're doing the shows?
No, it's just because it's you.
Well, we'll have a conversation when the mics are off. Wrap her up.
All right. Well, thank you for watching That Though podcast. If you missed any episodes, you can find them wherever you listen to podcasts. Make sure you follow Rocket Productions on Instagram and Facebook. I'm your host, Danielle McPherson.
And I'm your host, Lily Carr.